All right. Yeah, there you are. I saw you bounce off. I was hoping you bounce back.
Yeah, no, I had to run out and get one of the kids to make me a cup of coffee.
Yeah, perfect.
So what's up, Facebookers, YouTubers, or whatever the hell they call them? I don't know what they call them. What do they call them?
Yeah, that's it. YouTube
Watchers?
Watchers, listeners,
Watcher sounds creepy. So we got a pretty kick-ass show here tonight, and listen, man, I was in right from the get-go. As soon as I heard what was going down, I was like, hell yeah. Listen, the questions and whatnot already started flowing, man, because I got a lot of questions about this one. I knew that they were doing this, but I don't know how it works, so we're going to find out.
It's a different flavor, We always talk to our guys up here, so it's cool to get a southern swing, I guess you'd say, right?
Man, we got three homeboys from down south where the sun shines and the snow stays away.
Man.
Yeah. You reheated your tea twice. It was that cold, Bud.
Bud don't play around. He's right on the ball in here.
Yeah, man. Dude. Yeah. So that was pretty badass, man. A couple weeks ago up there at Bethel, I wound up pulling off the Fall Series championship.
I call that? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Kyle missed the heat race. That's all it was. I mean, he won every race. Yeah. And then
that's a hell of a way to lose a championship by not in a fucking heat race. That's unbelievable.
Yeah. So I ran up in the stands and gave Bud a big old hug. But
I saw that. That's good.
Yeah, good dude, man. I like Bud. He's a good guy. Hell of a writer too. I like his articles, man. Pretty sweet.
Yep.
Mike in here? Man, I hope not.
Who?
Am I glitching? I see it's like flashing.
Oh yeah. Oh no.
So
all right. All right, so let's bring them on.
I will let you introduce each one of these guys. I just butchered all their names, and Southern boys can fight. So, and I ain't into this shit. I'm old.
Getting too old for that.
Yeah, man. I really am.
All right. So, let me just fit the comments over here. All right. So, we got Tommy Roscoe, David Forbes, and Cody Kymick. Listen, that sounds good to me.
Yeah, man. All right, fellers, thank you for joining us. We're going to officially welcome you all to Northeast Happy Hour with Gary Predmore. I'm Joel. It's all about him. Listen, man, thank you guys for joining us. And let's just start. Let's see. I got you over here. So let's start with Tommy. Tommy, where are you from?
I live in Converse, Louisiana.
Louisiana. Nice. Dave?
Shreveport, Louisiana.
Oh, shit, yeah. Cody?
Living in Waxahachie, Texas.
Okay, so I noticed that your twang ain't as much as Tommy and David's twang.
No, yeah. I'm originally from New Jersey, so
Jersey boy. Okay.
You don't tell people that in Texas, do you?
They say I'm from the north, so they don't really like that.
Yeah, you're a Yankee, brother. I'm telling you. Yeah, listen, I got a good Army buddy of mine. He lives in Blanco, Texas, and he told me I went out. It was before the world got crazy. We went out, and it was his 50th birthday, and he told me, he said, "Listen, don't tell nobody you're from New York." I said, "All right, man." He said, "You might get shot out here." But Fort Polk, Louisiana. Where are you guys? Anywhere near that?
I'm pretty close to it. It's only probably an hour and 40 minutes from me or less.
Oh, Jesus Christ, man. I absolutely hated that place. Yeah. Listen, I spent many, many nights with my head in the mud. Man, you boys got mosquitoes that'll pick you up and take you away. Jesus.
I guarantee it.
Yeah. So that was at JRTC, Joint Readiness Training Center, Fort Polk, Louisiana. I was there twice in my military career, and son of a bitch, man. That was some rough country. So, all right. So let's get right to it. So you guys all had a chance to drive our big block modifieds, which is a center steer car, which is something, unless you're driving a sprint car, you guys aren't used to. Correct?
Correct.
Okay. How did that come about? Do you guys own the car? Did they bring them down to you? How did that come about?
Well, okay, I'll start. I was driving a guy that has 3 cars out there, and I've got sprint cars history underneath me, and he showed up one day, and I've been friends with him for a while, and he goes, "Hey, let's go racing." And I got out of this class a while back, and So it was pretty much a natural fit. And I said, yeah, let's do this. So we started at the beginning of the year, and of course a little bit behind the curve, but I was used to the drive shaft because I come from a sprint car background.
Okay.
So that made it a little bit more adjustable. The problem was getting those cars to roll over on the right side.
Yeah.
Right side, you have issues.
So you were up north here racing, or do you guys actually run these down south?
All down.
Yeah, we run them. They just started a class down here.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. Really? Okay. And who's the manufacturer down there that's building them?
My car.
Or actually, they're up here, but
I think they're
Yeah.
getting shipped down there. If
Okay.
I'm not mistaken, I see guys from up here taking them down there to you guys, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Good.
Yeah,
Yes.
I picked mine up in New York. I work around Pennsylvania a bunch, around Washington, PA on pipeline stuff. So
Okay.
I drove up and picked mine up.
Okay. And who's the chassis builder, Tommy?
Mine's a 2019 Bicknell.
Big. Okay.
Now,
All
whose
right.
was that? Yours was
Mine was Jeff Brown's old
Jeff
car.
Brown's. What about you, Dave? Where'd your car come from?
Well, mine's an old school Big Nell, but we went up this past summer and picked up a new DKM.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So it's one of Friesen's cars,
So
No, he used to run DK, and now
right? He's not, or is that no,
No.
isn't that one of his chassis or some shit that he's
no.
building there?
That's Dave Constantino.
Oh, okay. I got you.
I got it. So
Okay.
What
How about you, Cody?
Yeah.
I got a Bicknell. I picked up from Eric Williams. He actually brought to Bristol.
Okay. Yeah.
When the Surfer Dirt cars was there, and we met him halfway.
Okay. So is it just a couple of tracks down where you guys are that are running this division, or one track, or how's that working?
It's like a touring deal.
Okay.
Knocking off a couple different tracks, and hopefully more tracks pick it up. And once they see how good the cars are.
And now the $1 million question that people already piped in on the side. It's I'll even pop it up here. You might know whoever it was. That's the question. Do you Southern drivers feel overmatched? With the Northeast guys coming down there. It's like the $1 million question, because it's you see it. They come down there. I mean, obviously, most of these guys have been doing it for so damn long. Do you feel overmatched?
I'll speak for me. I don't feel overmatched. I have some good runs and some bad runs through the week. I got a really good motor. I run a Pro Power 4, and I got all the new stuff on my car, but they got we had David and Corey, 10, 11 races maybe this year is all we raced.
right.
So I'm just like probably these other two guys. I need more seat time in the car.
Right.
I went to Florida the first year and raced the crate, and then I went to a bigger motor, and I'm going to try to go to Florida. I already sent shocks off today, getting ready for Florida next year.
So yeah, that was my next question. What's your motor package? What's the rule for that? Are you guys allowed to run an open, or are you guys all on crates?
Yeah, it's open. Pretty much Deo's modified rules.
Okay.
So the same modified rules that are up here pertain to down there?
Yeah, pretty much. It's just we don't have the PA spec and NJ spec, all that stuff. But
Yeah. And how many cars are you guys getting? Now you're only running about 11 shows a year, though. You said, right?
Well, that'll do the rainouts. Yeah, go ahead, David. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's what they scheduled this year. When we had the first meeting and tried to figure out how many races we wanted, and it was a couple of times a month until everything got rolling. 15 to 18.
Okay.
And there's 21 of us all the way around here, but they're trying to get everybody keep the cars up and making those trips.
Yeah.
So
now, are you finding it hard to when you guys break stuff? I mean, obviously you got to get a hold of somebody up here in the Northeast. Are you finding it hard to get parts, or you guys have like a go between? Like how's that working?
I call Barrett's is what I do, and
Yeah, I think we all do it one time or another, man. Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Call Barron's or Elmo's and
Yeah.
help us out.
Now, what about if you up here, if we wreck a car, it needs a front clip, we just take it to TO, Hig Fab, Big Now. Where do you guys do? Or is that like in-house stuff that you guys are doing? There's no manufacturers down that way.
No,
that don't happen. my shock tire actually on the right side for the rear got bent on our last series race before the last points race. And I'll call Bicknell in the order. I'm a welder by trade, thank goodness, and I got everything I need, and I'll weld it in place myself.
Right, but
there's a lot of sprint car chassis builders that were not necessarily builders, but fabricators around here that you can take your car to them if you have those pieces, and you can order them from Big Dell, Troy, or whoever, and they can fit them, have them done, and have them straight.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I walked it. We have another person that we parts place, East Coast Speed, ECS Auto. I mean, and they got front clips sitting right there in the lobby now anymore, Gary. You walk in and I'm a full fender guy. I'm a street stock dude. So it's fascinating to me that I knew that our guys up here in the Northeast were going down south, but I had no idea that it was starting to take off there. I mean, what's your major, like what would be, so for us, the big block modifieds, that's like your NASCAR level division. You know what I mean? That's your big division. What's the big division down there? Is it sprint cars or is it like the UMP mods? What would be your big division?
I'd say my part, super late models,
Okay. Yeah.
Around here.
Okay.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yes. The sprint cars is not a big thing in North Louisiana any longer. It's a little bit more towards where we're, in the Texas area. Around here, I would have to agree with Tom. It would just be the late models.
Yeah.
Now, Cody, you're from Texas, right? You said?
Yeah. Texas. It's a lot of sprint cars really taking off. 305, 360, 410s. We got a couple of open motor sprint car series kicking off, really gaining ground. That's what I run in my spare time when not racing the modifieds of the 305.
Yeah.
But
looks like we lost Tommy here. Is he coming back? You think?
Yeah, he popped off.
All right.
So now is there a modified track out in Texas that you run at frequently, or do you got to travel over to Louisiana every time you want to race?
Well, if I want to race with them, I got to go to Louisiana. They got a couple shows in Texas, but in Texas with the modifieds, they have the Texas wing modifieds, and yeah, you got to put a wing on it. It's center steer. That's something they used to run back in the day, and they're keeping the cars going, but people are bringing newer cars down from up north, throwing a wing on top and racing with them.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Okay.
I didn't know that.
That's interesting.
Yeah. How far are you from like Devil's Bowl and all that, Cody?
Devil's Bowl's 45 minutes from my house.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah,
One of these years, I'm gonna go run that Lone Star 600. I'm telling you.
That thing's
telling
crazy.
you.
It's a great
Have you ever run it?
No, I never had a car.
Listen, even up
keep
here
up with it.
in cold ass New York, where the sun doesn't shine anymore, we know about that race. A few years ago, I was actually I signed up for it, but one of the guys that worked on my crew there, he got into a pretty nasty motorcycle crash and wound up. Actually, it was one of Gary's relatives. Yeah, he got in a bad motorcycle wreck, and we wound up not going. But man, that thing just looks amazing. It really does. It looks like it's a ton of fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And so, so when you guys aren't running modifieds, is there other divisions that you run?
I got a 305 sprint car. I've
Okay.
run with a couple different series of sprint car bandits or just the local race saver shows.
Right. How about you, Dave?
No, I've done all the racing I want to do. I'm just
yeah.
Now the other $1 million question is a lot of guys up here ask. Now when these guys come down there to race with you guys, are they real helpful? I mean, do they want to see you guys succeed, and do they give you a lot of information in the pits and stuff? I mean, because you figure you get Matt Shepard, too. I mean, they're the best in the business in that class. You know what I mean? Are they real helpful to you guys?
Yeah, for the most part, everyone that I've talked to was helpful. Mike Mahaney, Steve Davis, even Ryan Godown, and Stuart Friesen, and John Lutz. Pretty much everyone we talked with, and they helped us move bar here, just this, do this and that, and they were all really nice.
That's cool. Okay.
I went over and talked to Willie Decker and John Lutz too, and information that I was looking for, and every one of them. And of course, I didn't go over and talk to to very many. I sort of had, but it's great for them to come down. And I've not heard one single negative from any driver. Every time you walk over to, and like Mike Mahaney, just the nicest, polite guy, and 10 minutes to answer questions, which was fantastic.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what people always wonder, because we see, Facebook and social media, everybody's always talking about, the disparity between the North and the South drivers, and a lot of guys were on there saying that, everybody's willing to give a hand, so that's cool to see.
Yeah.
Especially you guys are so, lacked in experience in that stuff, you know what I mean? Down there anyway, that them car. It's cool to see. It's been a long time. I mean, up here in the Northeast Modifieds, they don't. I mean, the farthest they went, most of the time is Florida. You're starting to go out that way, Texas, Louisiana. They don't ever see that stuff. I mean, and it's kudos to Brett Deo for putting it together and doing the series like that. He's clearly the best in the business, even up here right now.
Yeah,
he's good.
Something that was really interesting with Brett, and I've done some promoting when we were doing the sprint cars early years, but it's so organized. I mean, down here, you don't start a feature before 10 o'clock at night. Not dogging the tracks here, but he's so well organized. I don't think there was a single night that we were done racing after 9 or 9:15.
Yeah,
got there, we hot laps, boom, bam, you did it. It was nice to do that. I mean, I love getting home before 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, listen, even because the division that I run, street stock, which is a full fender division up here, we're still considered an entry level division, and I've been running that class over 20 years. Even with us, and he would have a show and he would bring us in, and every show that he's ever had, I mean, it's just smooth. It's start to finish. You know what you can and can't do. He's even been in the tower as far as the race director goes, and the calls and stuff that he's made. I mean, I've known this kid. I've raced with his dad, and I knew him when he was just a kid, writing articles for some of the local tracks, and what he's done in the past 10 years is amazing. And I think it's awesome that he goes down south and gets that name out there. How do you say it? When the super late models down south come out on the track, everybody's in the stands. When your UMP mods go out, which I don't know if you guys call them that, they're the left-hand modifieds, your modifieds. When they come out, everybody's in the stands. Did you find it that when the center steer, when the Northeast mods came out, that people were staying in the stands? Did it seem like that fans were interested, or what was the consensus on that?
Oh yeah, they was definitely interested. Like here a couple of weeks ago, I went up to Boot Hill to practice before the Cajun swing, and they let us hot lap. During hot laps, me and Cody was there, Robbins, and then at the end of the races, they let us hot lap. People was leaving. When they seen us pull up there to go out after the trophy presentation of the last race, they stopped just so they could watch us hot lap, because they were so interested in them.
Right. What's the tire that you guys were using down there? Was it a Hoosier or an American Racer?
American Racer.
Yeah. So he keeps it. So he keeps the rules exactly the same as teams from here.
And what would you guys normally run as a tire?
I've always had American Racer.
Yeah.
I've just been a Hoosier from day one, so that's all I know. I understand how those worked a little bit more, but the American Racers, I mean, from years ago, have come a long way.
Yeah.
From back in the old McCreary's, right?
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. You might as well run with cinder blocks on the car. Yeah.
Now, Cody, you're from up here in the Northeast. Now, how long you been down in Texas? You say you're from Jersey. How long you been down here?
We've been down here 10 years. My dad used to race New Egypt, East Windsor, Bridgeport.
Oh, okay.
Back in the day, yeah.
Oh, so you're pretty familiar then of those cars then.
Oh yeah, that's why I'm in one and why I keep spending all this money on it, because it's what I grew up with and
gotcha.
Be able to keep doing it.
So when they made the move to go down there, that was right up your alley. Then you were all for that. You were all in.
Oh yeah, all in.
Oh, no kidding. Okay.
What made you go out to Texas? Was it the racing or school or work?
The economy sucks up there. It's great down here. I hate to say it and piss some people off, but no,
No, you're really not.
You're
really
not.
It's good living down here.
Listen, we got Governor Asswipe out of office, so it's all good.
Yeah. And now we got the evil twin, so it don't really matter.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
That's
So do you think that, moving forward, you guys have been down there a few years now, and how many years you guys been running these cars, or is this the first year, or talk a little bit about that?
Well, I ran them back when they were doing the Architects wing modified, and of course the wing modifieds here. They used to have the old cantilever cars, old school cars, and they started letting the wide bodies come in. I'm some mid 90s, I guess.
Okay.
A couple of people went up there and bought some of the old Olsons and came down, and it evolved from there, and it faded away. But the wings were real popular on these cars.
Yeah.
So, and then I guess they just decided to go separate, and that's where the Bates helped step in also and take charge and got away from the wings over here.
Yeah. See,
You're talking about what's over your top of your head.
I'm sorry.
Like the car that's above your head.
The picture.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
See, I would like to see them maybe do that. We have 3 divisions up here that run this style of car. One is a Sportsman, and they run a 602 GM crate motor. Then you got a 358 modified, and then you got the big block modified. All 3 divisions look the same. I've been a track announcer on and off for over 20 years. And if you're not consistently at the racetrack, calling the race and all that other stuff, I can't tell the difference from a Sportsman to a modified. Every once in a while, they'll put some sail panels on them. But even then, you know what I mean? They're hard to tell what's what. I think a wing would be awesome on there.
It's definitely unique. Just looking
right?
at the picture.
Yeah. There. We see that every once in a while up here, but it's usually with like a run with Jabron or something like that. Yeah.
The wing is the dynamics of that car tremendously. You don't need the big sideboards, like you do sprint cars. So, but I'm glad they've gotten away from it and run the cars the way they're built.
Yeah.
So Tommy, you're not a fan of sail panels, then?
One more time.
You're not a fan of sail panels?
Not because I don't understand how those things or why they even put those on there.
Yeah.
The reason is they tighten the car
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but I just don't understand. I don't, if they're the crate motors or the 358s or whatever, I just don't. I'm not that I'm against it. I just don't understand it.
Yeah. Okay. Tommy, other than the Northeast mods, what are some of the other stuff you said that you ran? You were a sprint car guy?
No, I run started out in the early 90s like with a mini stock with the old Ford Pintos, and then I moved up to street stock for a little while and down here, and then
you sold your soul and went and got a modified.
Well, then IMCA modified, and then I raced IMCA and UMP, and then I took a 15-year break. I just got back in it.
Yeah,
I bought that car last year in October, and then pulled it down for the Cajun swing last year I had a 602 crate against them guys. So
oh my gosh,
I had there was no competition, but I made every show, made every lap because everybody was in.
Yeah. So with the 602 crate, that would almost be in the Sportsman division, which is the lower of the 3 divisions. Yeah. Yeah. So what do you got in there now for a motor?
Now I got a Pro Power Ford.
Yeah.
How you like that Pro Power?
I tell you what, so far I love it. I can never figure out how to get that thing where it hooks to the track. I'll be all right. Which it was a Jake Sprecher's old motor that Rocky wanted.
Oh wow!
Yeah. And Rocky, he was down this week, and I talked to him a good bit about it, and he gave me a lot of input of what I need to do to make it where it hooks up. I was doing some things wrong, and he helped me out a bunch.
Yeah. Rocky's a good guy.
So how do they say down south? That son of a bitch could eat.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, man.
I smoked the right rear off of it Saturday.
Oh yeah.
Feature. I was running the high side. There wasn't nothing left of it time to end that.
So one of the questions came up here a little bit earlier, and I don't want to forget it. You guys ever consider possibly coming up north here? I guess Bridgeport would be closer. That's southern Jersey, something like that. Cody, I mean, you said that your dad ran New Egypt and stuff, right? You guys ever thought about maybe taking a trip up?
It's a dream, but it's a lot of money to travel, and we're kind of low buck, but we're contemplating on the idea of Florida in February. So
Okay.
Yeah, it's probably a little different than them guys going down and some of these New York guys going down there. I mean, comparison,
yeah,
these are this guy's in his own shop on the thing. I mean, average blue collar workers compared to guys that race for a living,
Yeah.
Yeah, like David. I can't speak for Dave like me. I don't have any sponsors. It's all out of my back pocket.
Yeah, man.
And like today, calling around getting complete new nose, body, all new sheet metal. I've been calling, getting prices today, trying to get ready for Florida.
Yeah.
So it's but I have thinking about coming up there because I work up that way a good bit. Maybe bringing my car up and hitting some different tracks.
Yeah.
But it's just talking about it right now. I ain't put it in action.
Yeah. Listen, I talk about that Lone Star 600 all I want until you actually go and try and do it. You tell the wife, wait, where are you going?
That's why I like these young these guys that trap. Like I look no farther than Derek McGrew. That kid, man. I mean, they bust their ass doing what they do. I mean, this kid to be so young and to be able to race and run the way he does. I mean, he was on the show. He's a very well-spoken kid. I don't know if you met him down there, but that kid was racing his ass off, and he was up in the top 10, top 5 every night down there in that swing. It was pretty impressive.
Yeah. I actually met him last year. He was a super nice kid. And me and him raced side by side there on the last night a good bit and a couple of nights before, and had a good time.
Yeah, I remember when he was racing Sportsman, and then he was making a jump to Big Block up there at Albany, and then a lot of guys were complaining about him being so young, but that kid held his own, man, all year long. He's a good kid.
Dave, do you race for a living or you work for yourself? What do you do?
No, I own 2 companies in Bossier City, and I do what I can, what business allows me to.
Right.
So
right. How about you, Code? What do you do for a living?
I work for a construction company in their fleet division.
Yeah, nice. Now, is this something that you guys would want to maybe do? Race full time, or is it just what I mean? This is a hobby thing. Like, I guess the question would be more towards Cody because I already see Dave going, hell no, man. Like Dave got gray in his head, like I do on my face, man. He's about done with all that.
No, yeah, it's a dream. It's a lot harder to do down here, especially with these modifieds. But if it's something that I would quit my job and go racing for a living if I could.
Yeah, true.
You ain't got a wife or kids, do you?
I have a wife. Yeah, I have a wife. So
yeah, no kids?
No.
You should keep it that way.
Yeah,
man. That'd be the end. Listen, I got 6 kids and they're all chomping at the bit right now, trying to get into a race car. And I ain't done yet.
I'm 50 years old, but not definitely would do it for a living if I could. If
Tommy, you're 50.
Yes.
What's in the water in Louisiana, bro? I would have said 39. Jesus Christ. I'm 27.
Yeah.
Dude, I gotta get out of New York, man. Holy shit.
So now on that whole swing, out of those tracks, what was your guys' favorites? What was the best one? I mean, I watched them on the flow. I mean, some are better than others, and some are faster. What do you guys prefer?
I like the Rev.
Right.
Yeah. I would say the Rev.
Yeah.
The Rev.
Yeah, that place is nice.
How big is that place?
They're going to try to book us a race there next year.
Yeah.
Okay.
How big is the Rev?
I think it was a 3/8 high bank.
Okay.
I think is what they said.
Yeah.
Extremely wide.
Oh yeah, lots of room.
Yeah. What's the biggest track you guys run on without Deo and all that? What's the biggest track by you guys?
That's the biggest one this group's run on so far.
Really?
Yeah. And in Texas I got Devil's Bowl, which is the half mile, and everything else is really quarter miles down here at that.
Now, Devil's Bowl, where you wanted to go do the 600, would be a blast for this group. With the cars and Louisiana cars, we would probably have 30.
Oh yeah.
it would be a blast because that track's extremely fast. I got a lot of laps around that, and I would love to go back there in these cars.
Yeah. And it's why it's funny, man, because every time I talk to somebody down south, man, it's all short tracks. It's all quarter mile, 3/8 of a mile. I mean, up half mile, I think, is your biggest. I mean, we until Governor Dipshit there tore it down, we had a mile dirt track that was Syracuse. And then, now we've got, like, by us, it's Orange County Fair Speedway. They're 5/8 of a mile. And, yeah, that's amazing. And the track surface down there, Cody, you would probably know the answer better. What's the track surface? What's the difference between down there and what we got up here?
A lot of red dirt down there, especially in Louisiana. Texas is more black dirt, but we seem to know what a water truck is a little more. Just from watching videos and photos. Because you get them slick like ice up north is what we don't get that bad.
Yeah. So you guys got bite around that track the entire night.
Constant, yeah.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Sometimes that separates the men from the boys, though. Them dry, slick racetracks, that'll separate. Anybody can just get on the hammer and anybody can just get on the hammer on a tacky racetrack. But when it slickens off, that's when you start seeing the good guys go to the top. I mean,
oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you're trying to find this much of the racing surface.
Listen,
you know what I mean?
It's all about that traction control. I mean, throttle control. I meant throttle control. That's what I meant.
Yeah. So during the entire Cajun swing, Dave, how did you make out? What was your best finish while they were down there?
Man, we struggled every night. We qualified all but the last night, but Friday night we had got tore up at the Rev pretty good, and just with an older car, trying to make new equipment, suspension work on the older car, pickup points were different. We were just so far behind the curve, and it didn't hurt my feelings to go up there and watch these guys run. I mean, I was fine with that. We missed Friday nights. I had a great show. I mean, a great seat for it, so I was okay. So I'm looking forward to here. 5 days are tough.
Yeah.
You asked, Cody or Corey about Cody about going, full time. 3 days is hard on me. 5 days, come on.
Oh yeah, I'm still a little wore out after 5 days.
Yeah. Well, I remember we were leaving the Rev at like 12:30. I was staying at a hotel right down the street, and we looked over there, and Corey and them have their cars all jacked up, and they got rear ends out of it, body panels in it. They're still working on the car at 12 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
So I was that guy. And I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Yeah. Listen, just scrape the mud off. We'll be all right for tomorrow. Yeah. And how did you make out down there, Cody?
I had place, a 9th place, and a 10th place, and 1 DNF.
Okay.
And or actually 2. I broke the drive shaft with 9 to go, run 12th Saturday. So. It was pretty good. I ended up 10th overall in the points deal. So
nice.
That's good.
Yeah, dude, that's nothing to sneeze at, man, with these guys.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna say your top 10, top 15. This is what they do for a living. This is it. They don't do nothing else.
Yeah,
I mean, Chris, look at Friesen. Friesen's on the national stage every week too. You know what I mean? With the NASCAR trucks, dude. I ain't nothing to sneeze at. How'd you make out, Tommy?
I had a DNF the first night, and then I think 16th the second night, and then at the Rev and Chatham, I had 2 8th place finishes back to back.
Nice.
And then I finished 11th the last night. So,
yeah. So, you start doing well like that, and that's, you get guys like, Peter Britton from Australia and stuff like that. You start turning some heads, man. You never know. Somebody will offer you guys a ride, up here in the Northeast for the summer months, So, and when does your racing season start down there, and when do you guys finish?
Either around March.
Yeah.
1st of March, we start racing.
About March.
And the end around October.
October is pretty much weekly until October.
Oh, okay. So you guys don't go as long as I thought. I feel like you guys were year round.
Yeah, I thought they would go a lot longer too, considering nicer weather.
Yeah, my brother lives in Ocala, and there's like spring series, summer series, fall series, and then winter series. He says you could race almost year round if you wanted to.
Yeah, that's what I would think too.
Yeah. So are you guys on torsion? Was it torsion bars and
Torsion
or
bars.
coils?
Coils.
I'm on coils.
Coils.
I converted the coils. The car
Yeah.
was originally torsion bar
Yeah.
when I got it.
Yeah, I'm on cold short bar.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay. Nice.
So that seems to be everywhere. That's the bars are almost obsolete now.
Yeah, there's
Yeah, you know.
bars. So
Say that again, Dave.
there's a couple of guys down here that still have the bars on the back, and just I don't know how well or how strong they stay with that much weight. When do they start giving up? So, and a coil seems to be just a better way to go. Getting the car roll, nothing binding up. I just think those little torsion arms, because there's so much roll in these cars now. You don't have that much torsion. Definitely be the way to go. We converted that older car that I'm in to car also.
Now, does the track surface down there stay pretty good? I mean, does it get rutted up? I mean, because that's where the problem comes when you're on coils and that track is rough. Them coils don't like a rough racetrack. How does the track surface down there stay? I mean, because considering you're in Louisiana and it's got to be hot as hell in the summertime.
Yeah, it does. Like the one of the features I won this year on the short track Super Series Cajun region was down in Glenmore, Louisiana, and it was rough. It was terrible. And I just won the heat and got lucky enough. I had a 358 spec motor then, which I still got, but it was just hugged the bottom, and that's where the smoothest area was. No, top. And I said, if somebody passes me on the bottom, they earned it because it was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when the Northeast guys don't come down, who's the hot shoe down there right now with these cars?
Tommy.
Oh yeah. I would say Caleb Dillard is he won not 4 or 5 features down here, and I won one.
I was gonna say Dillard definitely down there.
Well,
And
Tommy's playing light too. He's smart. He understands. He's him and Caleb, run really good together. They're both out front continuously every single weekend. That's all I know in the Louisiana group. I haven't made any Texas races this year, but I mean, just you got him sitting right here in front of me. He's running good also, and I follow him on Facebook and watch him kick some butt over there in the wing modified. So, at his age, he'll be up there soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at, Cody. I was looking on your thing. It looked like you do very well in that wing modified.
Yeah, I won two races, 2 features this year, and I wound up the points champion out there this year for the wing modifieds. And so it's my second points championship. I was the 2018 champion with them too. So.
Oh shit, that's good.
If that's a low buck team, Jesus Christ, I hate to see what a real good team does.
Yeah. The short track Super Series, when they came to Texas twice, they had 2 races in Texas with the Cajun region, and I ran 3rd the first night, and I 16th the 4th the second night. So
nice.
Good try.
So every time we get somebody on the show, we always like to ask one question, and that's other than the Daytona 500, and Dave, we'll start with you. What would be the one race in your career that you would like to win?
Oh, Knoxville Nationals.
I was gonna say he's a sprint car guy.
Yeah.
He's definitely going Knoxville.
Yeah. Cody, how about you?
And I say, growing up, I always saw the biggest race of the year was Super Dirt Week, the Syracuse. That was the top of the cream. But I would like to win. That would be a dream. That, or there's so many big modified races now, and there's so many giant late model races. Anything you put me in a car in a big race, if I win it, that'd be great.
Yeah. Tommy, how about you, man?
I'd be tickled to death just to win that 20,000 we just had here on the Cajun Swing. Win one of them races against them guys.
Yeah.
I feel like I've done something, And the other one would be if I ever got a late model ride, to be the dream, the World 100.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So, Dave,
all I know is that whoever would have took out Shepard, that would have been my favorite Louisiana driver. That's all I'm saying.
Son of a bitch. I knew something was coming. Good Lord. Dave, how did you get involved with racing? What led to you racing?
My dad was stationed in the military, and we lived in Merced, California.
Okay.
And that's where Ernie Irvin's dad, Vic Irvin, running, and we followed it there. We'd go every weekend, and of course we got transferred around and ended up in Georgia. And as I told myself, one day I'm going to start racing, and I started doing it in 1987, 88, and got out for a couple of years after I got hurt, and then got back into it. So it's been a long journey, and very, I would do it again if I had to.
Yeah. Tommy, how about you? How'd you get involved?
I got an uncle. His name is Tommy Rasco. He run the old wing cars way back in the day, and a lot of Dave's heard of him, knows him, and I used to go spend the summers with him and go to the dirt track races there, the old Hilltop and Boot Hill years ago. And I said, I'm going to race one of these days. And he said, son, don't do it. It's going to cost you a lot of money. And that's what I started.
Listen, get hooked on heroin. It's cheaper.
I started with the old 4-cylinder, like I said, Pintos, and done it for a while. And I heard him made a comment to somebody the other day. I was over visiting him. He said, we spent a ton of money on these old cars. And he said, I wouldn't change it, not one bit. I'd do it again, all over again. And he's 82 now.
Yeah. Yeah, the only thing I regret was, you got the car you raced with, and then you got the car for a parts car, and then you chopped it up. And my uncle used to tell me all the time, man, you're going to kick yourself in the ass chopping all these cars up the way you do. And I wish I had kept a couple of them, but for the most part, nah, man, I ain't got no regrets, man. I've been doing this shit my whole life. Yeah, absolutely. Cody, you said your dad was a racer there for a while too, yeah?
Yeah. He started with in the Sportsman's and ran modifieds up in Jersey. And
okay.
Then I started racing with the wing modifieds in 2016, driving for a team, Charlie and Dale. They gave me a car and drove for them. Still driving for them. We're co-owners now. And then got a sprint car ride about 2 years ago that we race, and so that's all I've been running for the past couple of years.
Nice, awesome.
So the question everybody wants to know, I guess, it's the same question up here. Who's the lead manufacturer down south? Is it Bicknell like it is up here, or is it whatever you can get your hands on, you buy and race, or is it a specific thing? That's like the number one question around here now. Is like everything is Bicknell's.
Yeah, me and Caleb both were running Bicknell's. His is one of Matt Shepard's old car. It's a 2020, and mine's a 2019. So.
Sellouts. We knew you'd buy one of those.
I ran modifieds. I guess when Bill Cole owned it, or was part of it. Now, of course, next year I got the DCAM, which I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I think Bicknell it's down here too. If we have 20 cars starting, 17 of them are on.
Now, you guys ever thought about maybe being like a parts dealer down there for these style cars, or you just not enough interest right now going on for them?
I actually have thought about it, just because it's so hard to get stuff and get it here in time.
Right.
Just like I broke the front end on Tuesday night at Boot Hill and called Barrett's the overnight stuff, new front end and new front end parts. And I just got it today after I paid almost $300 in shipping, which it ain't Barrett's fault. It's UPS.
Yeah. So how did you get the car back together so quick? The guys there helped you out, or?
I had the new front end. I had a brand new one, but I didn't have two parts I needed. And Cody Robbins, a big shout out to him. He took him off another car he had there and got me back going.
Nice. So you guys finding it hard, do you have to have two of everything when you go to the track now because it's so hard to get parts for you guys?
On certain things, I would think, but to me, it's just not that as important to have two of everything anymore. Maybe a couple, extra front, extra rear, maybe some quarter panel support, something like that. But I think for most of us down here, if we get into something really bad, bust the axle, something like that, it's one night. I don't think any have enough to rebuild the whole car.
Yeah, I've had buddies that moved from full fender up to a Sportsman, and it was a front axle for hot laps, a front axle for the heat race, a front axle for the consi, and I think he finished it off with a front axle for the feature.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So, yeah. After the consi, I told him he was on his goddamn own. I wasn't changing it no more. You get tired of it.
So there you go, Cody. There's a question for it. That's the luxury of the show that we do here. We have live fan interaction, so they want to know. There you go. If you read it.
It's a plan. Like Chatham, where we ran that Saturday night, that's 5.5 hours from me. So it's a little hard to make the pool for one night. That's why I didn't really support it full time. But they have really good pay, and the points fund is really good from what Brett's showing me. So it's on the table that we were looking to maybe compete full time next year for them and try to go after a championship with them.
Yeah. So do you how much different are I'll try and answer this. How much different are the rules that you guys run compared to what the short track super series is running? Do you guys stick to what they're doing so that this way when they come down you don't have to change a whole lot?
Yeah, I think Brett Deo is running this series ultimately, and the Bates are just taking care of it while down here, but our rules are the same as their rules.
Okay.
They let a couple of us grandfathered in if we had something that didn't specifically fit their cars. And we started with this group a year and a half ago. He goes, "You're grandfathered in, so you can run that up until the Super Series, cajun swing, and then after that you have to conform to them."
Okay. And what would be some of the things that you guys would have to change?
Well, I run a J. Dickens aluminum 360, so they
motor.
Can't run a small block 360. So that'll be the changes. And fabricating your own body, follow the rules, and just buy a car and you can make certain things work, but just don't try to build your own.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. How many cars do you guys have when the Northeast guys aren't there? You said about 15 to 18?
Right.
Do you have more coming in, or do you see more interest coming with the division? Or
well, Tommy knows more about that too, because there's a lot of cars in the South down there in Fort Polk. There's several of those cars down there, and in Texas too. There's several of them out there that still run the wing. So yeah, I would think we should have 20 cars minimum on every weekend.
Yeah, I think there was 29 that showed up at least one night. I think 29 different drivers. So
that's news to me about this wing thing. I've never heard
the wing. Yeah, I never even saw the wing till I saw his.
I thought it was just strictly Northeast, man. Yeah, look at that.
It's a regular. It's a damn. That's it too. It's a regular modified with a wing on. That's incredible.
There's that one too.
Wow. Yeah, that's.
And how long have they been running them like that?
Oh man, before the wide bodies came down here, I would say prior to that it was around 1990. I would think they came in with the
really
called them wide bodies down here.
Yeah.
So because they got away from the skinny cars with the big sprint car tires, and when the wide bodies got here, you couldn't move the motor back, and you had to run the 9211 on the right rear. So. It was nuts, but they did run the big. They were like a sprint car, but they were, I don't know how much longer, but they ran that great big right rear, that 105 and a 95 on the rear. So I would say 90.
Wow.
Yeah, again, that looks like something you'd see in a run with your brung.
Run with your brung up here.
Yeah, listen, I'm kind of for that. Now with those wings on there, are you able to adjust those at all?
No wing sliders in Texas steel.
Okay. So once they're set, that's it. That's where they are.
Yeah, it's just like 305 race saver deal. You just gotta pick where you go, and hopefully you pick the right hole.
That's right. Yeah.
Nice. So
now, is there any talk of like up here we have the modifieds, big blocks, small blocks, and then we have an entry level, which would be the crate sportsman, 602 sportsman class. Is there any talks of that down south to take off? the modifieds with a 602, to get younger people, maybe, so maybe people that can't really afford them big motors and stuff like that. Any talks of that starting down there?
I don't
haven't
think so.
heard.
No, I wouldn't think so. But
I don't think not enough cars right now to try to split it.
Okay. Just think it would be more, get people interested, rather than spending big bucks on big motors and stuff like that.
Yeah, I just got a little spec aluminum spec headed motor, 358. This cost maybe $6,000 2 years ago.
Right. So
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
That Pro Power is probably. But these guys that are running today, they're big small blocks, small blocks.
Oh, they're $60,000 motors.
You know what I mean? So at that moment, you guys are kind of at a disadvantage. Then you would say, right? I mean, considering the smoke that these guys are bringing down there.
Yeah. I can't afford them motors either. I have to say my fiance bought the motor I got. So, I'm not going to make y'all think I bought it. I promise you. I wouldn't even have that thing.
Oh,
She
yeah.
has and I have full intention of paying her back, but I think she's got a great payment plan so far.
Listen, I've been with my wife for 14 years, and she paid for a motor like 12 years ago, and she still talks about it. Am I going to get that money back? What are you talking about?
Oh, yeah.
I thought I'd sell the 358 spec motor.
No, I'm not selling shit, dude. Listen, that's on you. You keep your domestic stuff to you. Listen, I ain't selling nothing.
Yeah. So, Tommy, I got to ask, you said you ran the IMCA or the UMP mods, right? I mean, how much is the difference between the car you got now to that? I mean, besides the 8-inch tires, obviously. I mean, is there much difference suspension-wise and all that stuff, setup-wise on that to this?
Yeah, that's a big difference. The last car I had was a Dirtworks 4-link. And these cars, man, I was actually fixed to buy a Crate Late model, and I ran into Greg Dillard and Keith Batty out there, and they said, dude, get one of these. And I ended up buying one, and you could feel the car so much better as far as the roll. I don't know, it's a big difference to me. And yeah,
Now,
we had
aren't
8-inch tires, but with them old McCreary's, we run back in the day, and and then that's why I go down to Manny's Sabine Raceway a lot, because they was UMP modified, and I could run Hoosiers, and I like running Hoosiers a lot better.
Okay, yeah.
Now, aren't the modifieds that you're running? Aren't they a heavier car than the UMP guys?
Oh
Or
yeah,
the
ones that I got, the car I got now, yes, yeah, for sure, especially with that Ford in there.
Yeah.
I think I'm around 25, 30 total.
Right.
With me in the car.
That's not the limit, though, right?
No, it all depends on your motor size. Like if I got I think they said a 23-degree head, I think you only got to weigh 2350.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
David or Coy.
Right, in the 18s, you got to weigh 24.
Yeah.
See, I never had that problem of weight.
Yeah.
I could never shed enough weight. The only other way I was losing weight is I had to lose it myself.
Yeah. What you guys don't know is Gary's about 6 foot. What are you, 6'8"?
6'8".
6'8". He's a big boy. He's
climbing in and out of them modifieds.
Yeah. It's not so much how he got in them, it's how he got out. Is what I always wondered.
You know? Yeah, it was a trip, but
it was old, McGilla Gorilla, and just I think he'd get next to the guy next to him and just kind of give him an old head bonk and move on with the next one there. So
it was tough trying to buy, because that's what I was when I was getting my modified. I was getting a used one, but it was so hard to find one. You got to find one driver back, tall cage. Some guys don't have it. It's tough. I mean, you guys know you race them, getting in and out of them things, man. Being especially my size, 6'8", you turn into a real contortionist just trying to get in and out. It's tough. And then I'm always like, what if I land on my lid? I'm not sure. I'm not getting out. This is where I die. This is it.
Especially if they flip you back over and you're still alive. Your wife's going to have your ass after that.
Yeah, it's lose at that point.
But all right, fellas, listen, it's about that time. I think the wife is starting to do one of these. So, but listen, man, I appreciate each and every one of you for joining us here tonight. Any sponsors you guys want to give a shout out to before we take off?
Go ahead, Dave.
Yep, thank you. Thank you, Shed Road Auto Parts and Shed Road Towing, and I helped sponsor their the Cajun series. Hope you do a little bit more to get a little bit more people involved in it. So I'm looking forward to 2022.
Yeah, man.
Nice. Cody?
Yeah, I gotta thank I got Lyrico Restaurant Management with Sonic Drive-Ins, and I got Maxim Graphics, D&W Towing, and also Jimmy Allard Racing Engines. I gotta thank.
So Tommy, you're thanking your fiance, and that's it.
Yeah, I don't have any sponsors. Anybody out there listening tonight wants to help a Southern guy out? Hey, I'll take any help I can get right now. I'm going to hopefully second place in points this year, first year back. I'm hoping to maybe pick up a few. I'm hoping.
Call me, Tommy.
Anything helps.
There you go.
All right,
There
David.
you go.
I'll hold you to that. I got your number.
Listen, we do record this, so you can play it back if you call him and he don't answer the phone.
It's always on.
Yeah.
Just don't tell Tommy's wife. That might have to go towards the motor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, she took
all right,
all the
fellas.
money a while ago. They give us cash this week. And she put it on the envelope and said, "That's from Florida. Don't touch it."
Hell yeah, man. That's a smart woman. Listen, I call my wife the manager. Listen, when I know that there's a race or something I want to go to and it's a few hours away, she actually works at Orange County Fair Speedway. She works the back gate. My whole family pretty much works there. But she'll take some of her paycheck, man, and put it off to the side. And I'm like, shit, yeah, I guess we ain't going racing. And she'll pull it out and be like, no, go ahead. And I'm like, really? Listen, man, I lucked out, man. I got a good woman up here. So, but
Yeah.
all right, fellas, thank you so much again for joining us. We really, truly appreciate you. Listen, man, I learned a lot up here tonight. I did not realize that modified racing was starting to become a thing down south. That's awesome. And again, man, thank you guys so much for joining us.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks for having me.
no
Y'all
worries.
come down and check us out one time.
I think I will. I'm not going to let them know where I'm from, but I'm going to say Tommy told me I could be here.
That's it. It's as close south as I get.
There you go.
I got family in Alabama, but they don't run no modified. That's like late model stuff out there. That's it.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
It ain't that far, and you can be here and have some good eating too.
Oh, listen, I know. Listen, I've been to Mardi Gras. We left Fort Polk, Louisiana, and then we went to Mardi Gras right after that. I took leave, and holy shit, man! Oh, what a great town! Absolutely awesome. I actually really like Louisiana as much as I hated Fort Polk, but Louisiana was a beautiful country, man. Great people, everybody really hospitable. It was awesome place. So, all right, fellas, that's going to do it for us. Thank you so much for joining us.
Great show. Listening.
All right.
Thank you.
Take care, guys.
Yeah, bud.
Bye.